Welcome to a place most people will never see. A prison so feared even the guards call it hell on earth. This isn't just concrete and steel, it's a world built to break men, body, mind, and soul. A world where silence screams louder than words and survival is the only law. This is Pelican Bay, a concrete box 5 meters wide, 3 meters long. To most people it looks like a cage, but for Eddie Mills this is something else entirely. This is his world, his exercise yard. There is no grass beneath his feet, no horizon stretching beyond the walls, just bare concrete, chain-link fences and a sliver of open sky. When asked the last time he saw a tree, Eddie pauses, almost confused by the question. Finally, he answers. The last time, maybe 8 years ago, on the way to court. I saw one from the bus window. That fleeting moment glimpsed through reinforced glass is the closest thing to nature he has known in nearly a decade. 1 hour a day, Eddie is permitted outside. The other 23 are spent sealed away in a tiny cell. This is life inside Supermax. But Pelican Bay is not just a prison. It's a machine designed to crush men from the inside out. And as you'll see, the deeper we go, the darker it gets. Hidden in Northern California, surrounded by forests of towering sequoias, Pelican Bay sits in stark contrast to its surroundings. Outside, the tallest trees on Earth reach for the sky. Inside, men are buried alive in concrete silence. Over 3,500 prisoners are locked here. Murderers, rapists, gang leaders. Many will never leave. But it isn't just time they're serving. It's a battlefield they must survive. Because inside Pelican Bay, danger doesn't disappear when the gates lock. It multiplies. And yet, what happens when even violence isn't enough to break a man? Pelican Bay has an answer. Gangs rule the prison like underground kingdoms. Divided by race, they strike invisible lines of control across every block. The wrong look, the wrong word, even standing in the wrong place can ignite bloodshed. Riots erupt without warning. Homemade blades flash. Fists and fire spread like a chain reaction. Since its opening, at least 18 men have died inside. 5 were shot dead by guards, the last resort when violence threatened to consume the yard. Every week, more weapons are uncovered. Shanks hidden in walls, blades smuggled inside bodies, even a pair of scissors cut in half, sharpened and hidden deep inside an inmate's flesh. The message is clear. Even in maximum security, violence always finds a way. But here's the truth. Pelican Bay's most feared weapon isn't a gun, a shank, or even a gang. It's something far more invisible. That punishment is the Security Housing Unit, the SHU, a prison within the prison. From above, the compound forms a giant white X. From within, it feels like a tomb. No windows, no daylight, no human contact. Inmates live in silence, their voices echoing only through heavy doors. Escape is not just unlikely, it's impossible. A lethal electric fence hums around the compound. One touch and a man is dead before he hits the ground. Here, men vanish, not into freedom, but into oblivion. But isolation brings more than silence. It brings madness. And the terrifying part, some men will never escape this silence, not even in death. Meals arrive on trays pushed through a slot in the door. No cafeteria, no cutlery, just plastic plates and bare hands. 2 guards deliver the food while a third stands armed with a shotgun. Not for ceremony, for survival. Some cells are sealed with plexiglass, protecting guards from prisoners who throw feces, urine, and blood in desperate acts of rage. To outsiders, it sounds unthinkable. To men in the SHU, it is normal. Here, even sanity is contraband. But sanity isn't the only thing at risk. For some, Pelican Bay takes away something even more valuable: the very sense of being human. Fernando Medina has lived here for 17 years. Convicted of murder, he now wonders if the prison has taken something far greater than his freedom. Has this broken me? I don't know. But I've seen men snap, shut down. They stop speaking, stop moving. They stare at the walls until their minds collapse. For Medina, the fear isn't dying here, it's losing himself before that day comes. But if Fernando is haunted by silence, Eddie Mills has learned to fight it with routine. Once a violent neo-Nazi gang member, Eddie has been in solitary for over a decade. He spends his days studying French, Spanish, and business law. Books are his lifeline. Knowledge is the only escape the walls cannot take. I miss human contact, he says. A handshake, a laugh, just being near another person. Every day, for one brief hour, he steps into the yard, a barren pen of concrete and sky. He's shackled, guarded, and watched from every angle. Sometimes he doesn't even bother. It's just another cell, he shrugs. While Eddie walks, guards tear through his room. Transparent televisions reveal empty cavities. Pens and books are allowed. Paintbrushes are not. But Eddie has made his own. Strips of thread, milk cartons, even a feather scavenged from the yard. He paints quietly, building color where there is only gray. To him, it is survival. To the guards, it is a weapon. A feather dipped in waste could become a dart carrying deadly disease. Here, nothing is innocent. Everything is dangerous. And yet, the most dangerous thing in Pelican Bay isn't violence or weapons or gangs, it's time itself. This is the paradox of Pelican Bay, a place designed to maintain order yet overflowing with chaos. A fortress built to control men yet filled with those who resist control at every turn. Across the United States, more than 25,000 inmates live in similar conditions. Alone, silent, forgotten. For Eddie Mills, the best outcome he can hope for is not freedom, not release, but transfer to a prison slightly less suffocating. Until then, his world remains the same. 23 hours a day in silence, 1 hour in a cage, an endless time to remember the trees he hasn't touched in nearly a decade. Pelican Bay is not just a prison. It is a place where men disappear in slow motion, where the body survives but the spirit is erased. And for the thousands trapped inside, it is not just their sentence, it is their eternity. This is the hidden world behind the walls of America's most feared prison. But Pelican Bay is just one chapter in a much darker story. Across the globe, even harsher prisons exist. Some so extreme, Pelican Bay looks merciful by comparison. Want to see what life inside those prisons looks like? Make sure you hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe to Iron Curtains for more journeys into the darkest corners of the world's toughest prisons.